We thought it was an evacuation drill, until we heard footsteps in the hallway. Slow, heavy, and then someone started calling our names, one by one, with the voice of the teacher who was hiding inside the classroom with us. If you think you've heard everything about school horror, wait until the end of this story. My name is Eric. I was 14 years old when it all happened. It was an ordinary Wednesday, sunny, and history class was starting right after the break. Teacher Clark was always, punctual, strict but fair. She liked to do mini drills with us, lockdown trainings. In case an intruder enters the school, she would say. Most of us thought it was fun, almost like a game. But that day, it wasn't a game. She entered the classroom with wide eyes. The door slammed shut behind her and she turned the key with desperate haste. The sound of the lock echoed through the room, and it was the first time I heard a teacher say in a low, firm voice, "Everyone, under the desks, now, and don't make a sound." Silence. We obeyed. The hallway was still quiet. We could hear distant laughter from another class. But the teacher was pale, trembling. I crawled to the corner of the room with my friend Noah. The teacher sat near the door, her face turned toward the gap underneath, eyes fixed, hands shaking. "Don't you get it yet? This isn't a drill," she whispered. "There's something in here." And then we heard it. Footsteps, slowly approaching. 1, 2, 3. They were heavy. They didn't sound like a child's nor an ordinary adult's. They had a strange rhythm, as if barefoot but dragging something along. The sound of something wet hitting the waxed floor. When the footsteps stopped in front of our door, everything inside me stopped too. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't blink. Then came the voice. "Miss Clark, are you in there?" It was her voice. Our teacher's voice, exactly the same intonation, same way of speaking, but she was locked in the room with us. The creature started walking again, lightly tapping on the door as if it knew we were there. But it didn't insist. It just waited. That's when it started calling. First Sarah's name, then Noah's, then mine. "Eric, I know you're there. You can come out. Class is over." We looked at each other in panic. Sarah started crying, muffling her sobs in her shirt. Teacher Clark covered Sarah's mouth with her own hand, trying not to let any sound escape. Outside, the thing started laughing. But it wasn't a human laugh. It was broken, like a damaged recorder trying to repeat a sound it doesn't understand. And then it knocked. The knock was so loud that the door shook. Another, and another, as if it wanted to play with our fear. "You've already seen me, Eric, remember? In the parking lot last week, when you thought it was your mom?" The world spun. My skin went cold, because it was true. A week earlier, I saw my mom in the school parking lot. But when I ran to her, she smiled, in a strange way, and disappeared among the cars. My real mom was waiting for me on the other side of the courtyard. It knew things about me, things no one else knew. The principal showed up. We heard the sound of the walkie-talkie. But the strangest thing was that the creature imitated her voice too. Exactly the same. Talking to the security guards, asking them to open the classrooms, telling everyone to come out calmly. That's when we understood. It didn't need to force its way in. It wanted us to open the door willingly. 9. We spent hours in there. The classroom light started flickering. The teacher was crying softly. Some students fainted from fear. My body was trembling, and my mind kept repeating one thing. That thing wasn't human. It wasn't from this world. It wasn't just any intruder. It was something that knew how to mimic, that knew how to deceive, that knew our deepest fears. Suddenly, everything went silent, for hours, as if it had never happened. When the security guards Finally knocked on the door. Teacher Clark didn't open it. She demanded a password, a code, something to confirm they were who they said they were. It was protocol, and even then, she hesitated. Finally, we opened it. The hallway was empty. Nothing. No sign of the creature, no footprints, no sound. But at the end of the hallway, in front of the music room, there was a paper pinned to the door. A note, written in handwriting I would recognize anywhere. Don't make a sound. It's still listening. Signed, Clark. But Teacher Clark was standing next to us reading the same note. The school was evacuated. Psychologists were called. No record of intruders, no images on the cameras, but we knew. It was there, and it could be anyone. Noah never came back to school. Sarah moved away with her parents. I haven't slept with my door unlocked since then. The creature can mimic human voices, but it never learned what it means to have empathy or fear. And that's how we know when it's near, by the way it pretends to care. It's still out there, waiting for another name, for another voice to copy. And you? Would you open the door if you heard your mom calling you from outside, even knowing she's already inside the room with you? If this got to you, maybe it's because you needed to hear this story. Subscribe to the channel, but only if you have the courage.